So welcome everybody. We are still waiting 1 minute more for attendance, but please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat if you want. This is a good opportunity to create community, So you are invited to use the chat. Okay, I think it's time to start. Again, welcome, good morning. As you know, today we are going to speak about the mobility, new trends, challenges, concerns, and its impacts on the SMEs. I am Antonio Novo. I am president of the European Cluster Alliance, and we are organizing this event in collaboration with the Eurocluster's RESIST. The Eurocluster was launched past September, and as you know, the focus is the promotion of a European network, a strong network related to mobility and all the services and support that the SMEs needs on developing their capabilities in this area. So I am very, very glad to welcome the RESIST team to this webinar and all of you attendants. The rules are the classical one. I think that by now every one of us understand that. Please mute your microphone and turn off your camera except when you can speak. Please use the chat to interact, to ask questions, or to suggest. You have also reactions on your menu. That will be nice to have your perspectives through that kind of actions. And please be aware that this webinar is being recorded. So if you continue with us, you are allowing us to record it and to publish it later. Most probably we will make it published. So be aware of it, please, and contribute. Mobility is a absolutely key area for Europe's future, present and future. The European Cluster Alliance is contributing to the European strategy on mobility through different actions. For example, with our participation in the EU Industrial Forum, that is the highest level of expert group in the Commission for all the industrial policies, and specifically with our contributions to the transition pathway on mobility, that, as you know, it's being defined just now. It's in the process. We are co-curating, coordinating the task force in the Industrial Forum that take care of supporting all the transition pathways. And that is important for you to know, because there will be a time, not so long in the future, where we will suggest you to contribute as part of the cluster network to the draft of the transition pathway. That is a very strategical document. But we are going to speak here today not only of strategic views, but very concrete actions, project needs, and ways to support those needs from the RESIST environment and the RESIST Euroclusters, and to you, to the companies attending this webinar. That is all from my side, and now I will give the floor to. Well, you have in the screen now the agenda for today, and I give the floor to Auriane, the project coordinator. Welcome. Bonjour, Ariane.
Hi everyone. So I'm Auriane and I'm the project coordinator, and I will introduce our project RESIST, which means resilience through sustainable production and processes for the European automotive industry. So RESIST is funded by the European Commission as part of the Single Market Programme. And this project is one of the 30 Euroclusters. So what are Euroclusters? Euroclusters are cross-sectoral, interdisciplinary and trans-European strategic joint cluster initiatives that are planning activities and services to facilitate the green and digital transition of European Union ecosystems. So as you see on the screen, we are 5 partners. Our project brings together 3 automotive transport mobility clusters. So we have SEAGA, located in Vigo in Spain, Autoclast, located in Ostrava in Czech Republic, and Pôle Véhicule du Futur, located in the east of France. So us, who are coordinating the project. And we are also 2 clusters from digital and manufacturing. So ILIA from Zaragoza in Spain and BISOC from Linz in Austria. And thanks to this project, the Euroclusters project, we are helping SMEs to become more resilient to crisis. And in the case of RESIST, SMEs from the automotive transport and mobility ecosystem, or mobility sector, as you can see on the right of the screen. And our project started in September 2022, and it ends in February 2025. And the RESIST project will support more than 100 SMEs from the automotive transport mobility ecosystem to face specific challenges such as the electrification, the reskilling of the labor, but also several crises. Indeed, with a certain sanitary crisis, which heavily hit the ecosystem, with shutdowns and barrier measures, which led to production shutdown, to closure of sales agencies, and to disruptions in the supply chain. And after the crisis, there was disruptions in the value chain and a shortage of major components like raw materials. And SMEs are also impacted by cost increases for materials or energy. And the crisis also highlighted the economic risks resulting from dependencies from other regions or countries. And increased European purchases within the automotive value chain are a possibility to increase resilience and reduce dependencies from other countries. And the current situation, with its profound transformation and adaptation, is therefore a chance to help SMEs becoming more resilient and sustainable through greener and more flexible production and processes. And in the RESIST project, we propose financial support to SMEs till more than €1 million for the period of 2023 and 2024. Now, regarding what we offer in RESIST, SMEs can access to co-funding for the following topics. So first, we have trainings to support and reskill cluster employees and employees from the automotive transport, mobility and manufacturing SMEs, whilst attracting talents for better understanding of challenges and opportunities. And it also enables SMEs to receive advice on green engineering, digitalization, and many other topics. Then we have networking to improve the resilience of the European Union industrial ecosystems by developing value chains, interlinkages in the European Union single market, to initiate the development of innovative and more sustainable production solutions. And these activities will also open the manufacturing market to SMEs from the automotive transport and mobility through participating in webinars or matchmaking events in Europe. Then we have also internationalization to boost access to global supply and value chains through intelligence gathering, acceleration. Also, we have acceleration services and collaboration agreements. And SMEs can attend, for example, international events outside Europe. And then we have also adaptation to processes and technologies to reinforce transformation into a greener and more digital economy. So SMEs could benefit from coaching with experts in the field, along with a catalog of best practices, examples of green and digital transformation. And this catalog will contain exemplary effects for interested companies of the vehicle and manufacturing industries, which had a positive impact on the resilience of the companies. And finally, we have innovation for strategic autonomy to build capacity in the most critical supplies and technologies and their ecosystems. And SMEs can obtain financial support for this activity to develop innovation projects. So, and I'm going to talk about these in details at the end of the webinar. And now I'm giving the floor to Patricia and Sonia for the presentation of the future trends in the mobility.
Okay, hello, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this webinar of RESIST. My name is Patricia Solá. I'm involved in European projects in CEAGA, that is a cluster. It's an automotive cluster in Galicia, a region in the northwest of Spain. And I'm here together with my colleague Sonia Piñeiro and Diana Lago that are also involved in the RESIST project. The role of CEAGA is to manage the work package of networking. You know that, as Orien mentioned, that we have 5 areas of support. And the one that we manage is the one of networking. And one of the first steps in the project was to create a report and identifying the main trends or challenges that will affect the mobility, transport, and automotive ecosystem in the future, and see what will be the impact of these trends on SMEs. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay. Here you have the methodology that we have applied. Okay, first of all, we started reviewing different studies or reports from different sources. Okay, and with this information, we prepare like a kind of suggestion of the main trends affecting our ecosystem, and we discussed all these facts internally with the rest of the consortium partners, okay, during an online workshop, okay. And then the second part was to see, to present these trends to the companies, to SMEs, and in order to see their impression about how these trends could affect them, okay. So we prepared like a survey, and we distribute it to all SMEs around Europe, okay, especially with the help of clusters. especially with the help of the European Automotive Cluster Network and the cluster that belong to this community. And today, our idea is to share with you these trends, comment on that, and get your feedback. Okay, we know that we have today representatives from clusters, but also from companies, and your point of view is very welcome to be received. Okay, next slide. The first step was to, after reviewing different reports, the main trends that we identified were classified in different fields, okay? As you can see in the screen, social and talent trends, technological, economic and business, geopolitical, green transformation, energy, and value chain, okay? So we will have a look at each of them. Next slide, please. Okay. Social and talent trends. We expect new functions and better performances in vehicles, okay, that could be incorporated once the vehicle leaves the assembly line, especially via software. And this is explained by the greater influence of the generation Z, okay, in the next decade. And this generation will also tend to buy more electric, more connected and more autonomous vehicles, and also the use of mobile applications. Another trend that we have identified is the customization of vehicles and the production of limited editions. Companies will tend to offer more personalized vehicles, and this, well, trying to be adjusted to consumer preferences. And companies will have to, will need to move towards a more flexible production system. This customization is intended to be more digital than physical in order to reduce costs. Okay. Mobility solutions in broad sense. This is especially around cities. Okay, the increase of population living in urban areas and their extension to the city outskirts will force the public transportation network to improve and be broader, offering other solutions apart from regular services, such as on-demand transportation via mobile applications. And we move towards the concept of mobility as a service, where public and shared transportation will cooperate, and the data exchange among vehicles, infrastructures, etc., will be required. Moreover, mobility solutions will need to be adapted to the different target groups. We have already talked about the generation Z, but we also will be required to think about older people, for example, that as you know, the population is getting older, and this will be an important target group to be addressed in the future. Another thing, greater boost to digital markets. Okay, the generalized increase of online sales that we have seen in many sectors will affect vehicles too. And these sales could be directly made by car manufacturers in the future. Okay, and why of that? Because the reduction in car sales expected in the next decade, together with the obligation to sell zero-emission vehicles from 2035, like electric vehicles that have less parts that require maintenance, will put many authorized dealers and after-sales services in financial difficulties. So we expect this more online sales and directly made by car manufacturers. And finally, the lack of key competences in the ecosystem. You know that our ecosystem is currently suffering the lack of personnel, both in terms of quantity and also in terms of quality. And so there is an urgent need to reskilling and upskilling the staff in areas such as industrial modernization, green transition, software technology, etc. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, technological trends. In this case, we may distinguish two main areas for action. On one hand, the whole value chain must be prepared for the boost of case vehicles, that is connected, autonomous, shared, and electric mobility. And for this, companies will have to provide all the components, infrastructure, and technologies required for this kind of vehicles, okay? On the other hand, companies will keep on introducing key technologies to advance in their digital transformation. And some of these technologies could be the use of applied artificial intelligence to solve problems, automate activities, add capabilities, and take better decisions. The acceleration in deployment of machine learning to support the performance monitoring and continuous improvement. Of course, advanced connectivity, especially with the use of 5G or 6G technologies. Internet of Things and Industrial Internet of Things, that is a fast-growing business. It can be applied on industrial environments with the use of smart sensors to enhance manufacturing processes, but it could also be included in products such as vehicles to improve the driving experience and get feedback about the use, possible defects, and drivers' habits, for example. Immersive reality technologies, such as virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality, which have multiple applications, such as learning tools, quality control, etc. Multi-criteria analysis simulation, in order to be able to value different alternatives and take better decisions. And for example, with the use of digital twins on vehicles, we can gather data from different systems and analyze the use of the vehicle, the parts fatigue, etc. Cloud and edge computing that allow distributing computing workloads across remote data and local nodes. Cybersecurity, of course, this will be extremely important at all levels of the organization to guarantee safe data gathering, transfer, and processing. And so in environments where the artificial intelligence will allow machines to take decisions and to make changes in the manufacturing processes, this is a very important technology to cover. In the field of robotics, the incorporation of humanoid robots in factories could also get its relevance in the future to carry out some labor tasks. And finally, 3D printing that could have a great market opportunity to answer the need of more personalized vehicles, as we commented before. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. Economic and business trends, from made in China to made in Europe. Okay, so we have seen that Chinese vehicles of higher quality are increasing their presence in Europe. And this is a risk for the automotive industry in our region. And it also applies to some components that are brought from Asia. So there is a need to relocate the market towards a made in Europe strategy. Okay. Globalization and economic dependence. Well, the general trend of being more global has made us more vulnerable. So to fight against the dependence of Europe with resources acquired in other regions, especially Asia and the United States, it's urgent to implement a strategy that can guarantee our autonomy and resilience. Okay, raw materials as key elements in the economy. Yes, it's obvious that those countries with greater access or control over raw materials and scarce resources will be in a better strategic position at global level. So a good example of that is lithium, for example, that due to its relevance in the production of batteries for electric vehicles, is expected to be in a global supply shortage. Okay, uncontrolled and generalized price increase. This is, well, especially this problem or this challenge came especially with unexpected events such as the COVID pandemic, the war in Ukraine, etc., and is affecting raw materials, energy, transport, etc. The consolidation of companies and new players. Yes, we expect to see new mergers and new strategic alliances between OEMs, but also with other new players entering the market, such as companies like Google, Apple, etc. The difficulty of suppliers to answer future challenges. Okay, the need to incorporate digital technologies to products to meet OEMs and customer expectations, the reduction expected in car sales in the next decade, and also the move towards the sale of zero-emission vehicles will put component suppliers in big difficulties. And this is something that we need to take into account and try to help our companies, especially SMEs, okay? Agility and digital visibility of value chains. Companies and especially SMEs should include agility not only in the operations, but also in their mindset. And for this same, we are seeing companies that are starting to invest in solutions such as open data ecosystems, where we have a higher visibility of the whole value chain, and you share data from suppliers and also from your customers. Employee policies and work places, especially since the COVID pandemic, the combination of presential and remote working has been extended, but the working model and the grade of flexibility of a company will depend on how they interact with their customers and also on the market. And opportunities for entrepreneurs. This is a new era for opportunities for this kind of companies, and this has been especially promoted through the support of business incubators, accelerators, and also the European Union has launched different programs supporting the growth of this kind of companies. Next slide, please. Geopolitical trends. Well, here we have conflicts such as the war in Ukraine, restrictive measures against Russia. We have the Taiwan-China conflict, the new wave of COVID in China. All these things are producing a turbulent environment that is affecting, for example, especially in terms of the increase of cost in Europe. And another thing that we have put here in geopolitical trends is the European Union's unity under pressure. Yes, this is because the increase on the difference of social classes together with the migration streams have created an environment of unsatisfied voters, okay? And in this environment, it's not unthinkable that Europe can come back to a more fragmented territory, okay? That could reduce the freedom of movement of goods and people. And this, of course, could have a negative impact on the economic growth, and especially in the automotive industry that is based on international supply chains. Next, please. Okay, green transformation trends. Well, we have, first of all, climate change. This is, as you know, a huge problem that is causing droughts, water shortages, and other natural disasters, and it's also aggravating existing social and resource problems. But no doubt that the main driver for the green transition of companies is the legislative framework. At European level, we have the Green Deal, which aims to make the European Union climate neutral in 2050. And related to the automotive industry, we also have the new Euro 7 standards that from July 2025 will restrict the limit of emissions in vehicles to 60 milligrams per kilometer. So this is going to force companies to carry out big investments in order to fulfill this objective. Okay. Another trends, we have the decarbonization of business models. We are already seeing the compromise of companies to be neutral in CO2 emissions in 2035. And with regards to the transport and logistic companies, we will put a lot of pressure on this sector to reduce emissions. Okay, so companies need to decarbonize their business models, but they will have to move towards the sustainable consumption, and also look at the logistic process and the product delivery to be also greener. Okay. The rise of circular economy, that is a new production and consumption model based on reducing, reusing, and recycling. So you can extend the product life cycle. And in the automotive industry, for example, we have important groups such as Renault or Stellantis that have already created their own circular economy companies. And finally, we must not forget that the skills that will be required for the green transition. In this sense, companies will need experts in areas such as bioengineering, biosourcing, raw materials, etc. Okay, regarding energy trends, first of all, we have a very high energy prices. This is one of the topics of greatest concern in companies, and this has been aggravated with the Ukraine war. Okay, and it seems that this will remain unstoppable, this problem. Okay. Other trends, the use of clean energy solutions. This could be a good alternative to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels. And at the same time, you are contributing to the reduction of net greenhouse gas emissions. Another trend is the energy autonomy or self-consumption. Through solar panels, also through energy accumulators, that is batteries, or even biomass waste conversion systems. Energy flexibility, with customers being able to modify their energy consumption. Some big companies, for example, if they interrupt their consumption, in the past, the energy companies have paid them for that. So this is a strategy more for big companies. Demand aggregation platform. In the case of smaller companies, they could join forces to aggregating their demand in order to have more capacity to negotiate with energy companies. Another trend is power purchasing agreements, which are long-term bilateral contracts between photovoltaic or wind farms and industry. Okay, and this solution is profitable for both parties as you skip the whole system. Another trend is the use of green hydrogen as an energy vector. Another trend, energy communities. So for example, companies and public administration and different organizations in the same place can create communities, so they can generate, distribute, and consume their own energy. Okay. And finally, well, this is more than a trend, is a declaration of intentions or a wish that we, as you know, the energy topic is of very relevance, important, and but the different countries have different policies, so it could be very convenient to have a common energy position in Europe. We will see if this can come to a reality. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, this is the last area of trends. This is value chain. Okay, here we have identified the following challenges that are vulnerable supply chains that need to be more resilient against unforeseen events. Okay, the high dependence on, especially on the United States and Asia, of raw materials and strategic components such as microchips. Okay, road logistics are facing the perfect storm. You know, the lack of drivers, the CO2 emission restrictions, and the high oil prices are forcing companies to consider greener transportation modes, or at least use intermodal and connected solutions. Instead of road transportation, maybe they can think about the train or other options that are less pollutant. The use of transport visibility platforms that will allow logistic managers to control end-to-end processes, and the use of intelligent traffic management systems that incorporate infrastructure sensor data, camera data, and vehicle data, and this together with data on traffic lights and the surrounding environment. In this way, you can evaluate aspects such as safety, efficiency, vehicle speed, air quality, congestion, etc. Okay, so next slide, please. So this is all from my side. These are the trends that we have identified in the RESIST consortium, and now I give the floor to Sonia Piñeiro, that will explain you the main results of the survey that we have carried out.
Thank you. You mute. Thanks.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sonia Piñeiro, European Project Technician in the Galician Automotive Cluster. As you see, within the RESIST project, we launched a survey in December 2022 to find out the impact on future trends on SMEs in the mobility, transport, and automotive ecosystems. In the next slides, I am going to show you the main results and the data obtained from these companies and entities that have replied to the survey. First, I would like to thank companies that have collaborated with us and responded to it. The team of RESIST Eurocluster really appreciate it, and we look forward to cooperate in the coming months through the calls and activities that will be launched within the project. I will start directly with the objectives that most concern companies. We have selected the 4 strategic priorities considered most critical by companies for the coming years, reflecting their current issues. The priority that companies value and are most concerned about is to increase operational efficiency, followed by to identify business opportunities in other industries and to develop other innovative products or services to access new business opportunities. And lastly, in 4th place, to foster process digitalization with incorporation of advanced technologies. As a relevant fact, these priorities match with the other questions of the survey related with trends and the section on challenges that worry companies today. But we will talk about these preoccupations later. Now I am going to show you the results of each trends. Referred to the social trends, here you see the results that we have. The trends they value most positively for companies in this area are in order of rating: mobility solutions in broad sense, digital customization of vehicles and limited editions, and lastly, greater boost to digital markets. In this area, the scores were very varied and none of the trends received a low average score. However, mobility solutions in broad sense receive the highest score with an average of 4 points out of 5, so it's a great sense. This topic, as you can see, refers to mobility as a service and the increase of mobility application in this area, closely related to the rise in the economy of the new generations, as the generation said, defined as people who prefer to use mobility applications in all their aspects of lives and new mobility options. Moving on to the technology trends, something similar happens in scoring. The most valuable trends in this case is machine learning, followed by engineering, simulation, multi-criteria analysis, and artificial intelligence and immersive reality technologies, which they both share a score of 3.8 out of 5. As you see, these 4 trends mark the need for companies to adapt to new technologies and Industry 4.0, where the digitalization is a highly significant topic. Talking about the economic and business trends, embracing agility and digital visibility of value chain and new era of opportunities for entrepreneurs stand out of the rest of the topics. These 2 cases represent the importance of knowing the environment in which they develop and how companies value the work done by business acceleration to launch new products and services. In this case, the scores obtained mark clear which trend will have the most negative impact on the ecosystem: the uncontrolled and generalized price increase of the basic materials, the energy, and the transportation, and mainly to the negative situation of the war and the supply problems that we're having. On the other hand, at the mobility, transportation, and the automotive value chain level, companies highly value the use of intelligent transportation management systems, such as sensors, cameras, and vehicle data to improve the quality of their work, as well as transportation visibility platforms that refer to data control and logistic management improvement. These 2 trends reflect a market gap for those companies or startups that work on these data management technologies. And again, the importance of digitizing processes and knowing how to work with big data. However, as we saw in the economic and business trends, the dependence on other countries in the demand for material and components reappears as the most alarming trend. Passing to the green trends, we have a wide variety of responses that have matched the average for most of the trends asked in the survey. Rise of circular economy and most sustainable consumption are the highest scoring categories, closely related to each other and to raw materials management. We have already mentioned before the concern about the scarcity of materials, so the correct use and reuse of existing materials are positively valued. As you see, also the worst valuable trend in this case is the climate change and the problems that it may occur if it continues to increase. The last of the trends results, the energy, remarks the 3 changes that we face in the world right now: the energy prices and the need companies have of choosing when they can modify their consumption, the need of power purchasing agreements, and the need of use clean energy in their manufacturing plants. All of them are the best option. Companies have to fight the increase of energy prices. And last, we have grouped, next slide, please. Last, we have grouped all of the challenges of companies have written in 4 big topics. In case you didn't see it, in the survey, companies had 3 boxes where they could mention their main problems or needs they have detected. And among all the answers, and thanks to the similarity between them, we have been able to group them, for example, in training and employability, where we have included all answers referring to the need to attract knowledge and keep the best qualified employees in their own companies. And obviously, prices and materials has been one of the most insistent themes, as you have heard throughout the results. The high demand for materials and the low offered, the dependence on other countries such as China and the USA, together with the rising prices, are the most concerns. On the other hand, we also have many replies related to the promotion of collaborative projects and the expansion into other markets and even industries where companies can develop and look for new customers. Sorry. Finally, productivity and production effectiveness has been one of the most repeated topics. Companies are interested in finding ways to increase their production in all areas, especially to expand into new markets and avoid bottlenecks in their management that may lead to the interruption of their work. All of this data and results will be published in our profile in the European Cluster Collaboration Platform and the social media profiles of RESIST. So you all can check it. And we will also create a report, as Patricia mentioned before, about all these trends and the explanation together with the results. And that's all. I will take back the returns to my teams, and thank you for attending this meeting.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Sonia. Okay, I'm Diane from CEAGA, and now we're going to start the open discussion. So I invite all of you to participate. You can ask whatever you want about the topics were explained in this webinar. You can use the chat from Zoom or activate your microphone. So does anyone have any questions or want to share their opinion about these topics? Okay, I'm checking the comments. Okay. We want to know, for example, if any one of you know about other trends in mobility that have been mentioned in this webinar or something like that. Okay, please. If you want to say anything, it's the moment right now.
Well, hello, this is Iago from LogicMail. Well, first of all, I would like to say, can you hear me well?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you all of you for this presentation. Well, as LogicMail is one of the technology provider specific is focusing on artificial intelligence and edge computing. I would like to know what is the frame of time to apply of all of these trends in the in this program.
Oh, okay. I think I don't know if Sonia or Patricia can answer this question. He asked about the framework about
Yes.
this study of trends in time.
Can you hear me? Yes. Sorry, because we had a problem with the sound, and I couldn't hear very well the question.
Well, the question.
Well, the idea of this report is to have the results, to have this report ready this month at the end of February. And the thing is that it would be a public report. So the you know, if you have interest on see this study, we can send you the main result, the report.
Okay, William, thank you.
I don't know if it was the question.
Yeah, it was that. Sorry, because I think my internet is quite slow. You can maybe don't hear me very well.
Okay, thank you.
But
Anyone
from
else?
Mr. Electric, may I have a question? Are you hear me?
Yes, of course. Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, I'm Petr Brinda from Mitsubishi Electric, and I have a request if we want to offer some training and so on for new trends in industry and automation and optimization and eco-saving. Should we contact you directly or via Eurocluster in Czech, or how to cooperate with you?
And okay, I think this question is for Oriane, the project coordinator of the RESIST initiative. Oriane, can you answer this question, please?
Yes, I think you can contact us directly, and we will share our link at the end of the webinar.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? I think Marius Tudor has a question, please.
Yes, please, for Patricia. I think she mentioned in her presentation about the demand aggregation platform. Platform that allows to small companies to negotiate together. There is an issue regarding the competition here, or everything is clear? The competition rules.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not an expert on the energy topic.
It's not about energy, it's about competition, because if they are gathering together and negotiate together, I'm thinking that could be an issue regarding to the related to the competition rules to negotiate together.
Well, in fact, in CEAGA, in our cluster, we are doing something like that, but it's in terms negotiating the price with a group of companies. I mean, big companies and also small companies. We join the volumes, the consumption volumes, and so we ask to the suppliers, the energy suppliers, for offers, for different offers, and then they choose. I mean, if you have a great volume of consumption, you have a greater power of negotiation with companies, and they can offer you a more attractive prices. So
this is clear, but my advice is to pay attention to this issue, because the competition rules are very tough, and you be very careful.
Okay.
I'm not quite an expert, but during my whole activity, I had a lot of activities and related with this, and I faced some topics. So this is my advice, to take all the necessary steps in order to be sure that the competition rules are respected regarding to negotiate together prices and quantities and so on.
Yeah, well, but I think you are not influencing the competition is there. I mean, you are only I mean, it's like if one company has a big volume, the companies, energy companies, will have fight for this company to be one of their customers. So at the same way, if you join the forces of different companies, you can't negotiate, but you open the possibilities to the energy companies to make their own offers. I mean, of course, you need to I mean, you need to guarantee some kind of rules of maintaining confidentiality and this kind of things. I mean, so and the companies must be compromised to, if they negotiate together, they cannot escape from the negotiation and negotiate on their own. So, but it's something that is we have been down this for many years, and no,
I see.
Any problem with that.
You never know. Okay, thank you. And I don't want to keep you more time. Thank you for the presentation, and indeed it was very useful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, someone else?
Yeah, maybe if I may jump in, Jakub Stolfa, I raised the hand there, and sorry, I cannot start the camera here in Zoom somehow today, so some digital skills are missing. And thank you very much for your presentation and very valuable results of your survey and overview of basically the trends in the mobility transport automotive ecosystem. I'm Jakub Stolfa, president of the Automotive Skills Alliance, which is the partnership, large-scale partnership for the collaboration on the skills agenda in our ecosystem, MTA. And I'm very happy that I have also seen that, of course, it confirmed that one of the needed trends and one of the biggest impacts is the impact on the workforce and what kind of skills and training courses will be needed. And that's something that, of course, as I have also heard today at the discussion, is very important, and especially for SMEs. So basically, pooling the training courses will definitely help. And I don't know if you are planning some kind of that activity within the project, or of course we can further collaborate on that, because that's the activity of our large-scale partnership, basically to pull together the training courses that we can offer, and this is especially for SMEs very helpful. And then also pooling resources to know, of course, from the technological point of view, what kind of training courses are needed, and are those courses here somewhere around in Europe, or do we need to develop the new ones? And so very happy to see these results, and looking forward for the results of RESIST project and for the collaborations. And just a small note, I have also signed a letter of intent while we were applying for the proposal. So I'm very happy that the project is running, and as said, it's very important. Thank you. So it's also more of the comment. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jacob, for your words, and of course the collaboration with the Automotive Skills Alliance would be very valuable. I know that, for example, in the case of CEAGA, we are in this kind of in this alliance, so we can be in touch of your results, and also about the information we can get during the RESIST project. And our idea regarding the training activities, training is one of the areas of support, and our idea is to, first of all, to ask SMEs, that is the target group of the project, is to ask them about these areas of interest in terms of training. But of course, if you have also any information that can be provided, I'm sure that the collaboration can be very, very helpful here. Thank you.
Definitely, and thank you very much. And we have already, and of course, it's some training courses in cybersecurity, but cybersecurity by design of the automotive systems, where is some kind of software and hardware. Then we have battery training courses that we are working on while covering the different value chain steps. So Yeah, well, let's be in touch, and of course, I'm not saying that we are having the solution for everything, but I really like that RESIST project is exactly that piece of puzzle that we need to together build basically and fill the gaps, and especially for the training courses. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you. We have another question from Maria Lambridge. She asks about if we consider including blockchain in the technological trends. I think Patricia or Sonia can answer that.
I think blockchain was not included in the technological trends, but as I mentioned at the beginning of my my presentation, the thing is that that we can share these trends with companies and also with cluster representatives, and of course, if you consider that this technology can be relevant in our ecosystem, of course we can include it. That's the idea, to know if you agree with the trends that we have presented today, and of course there is a space to include other things that maybe we have not identified here in our report.
Okay, thank you, Sonia. Maybe it will be interesting related to cybersecurity that was mentioned. So, but thank you.
Okay, thank you. Another question, I think is for Oriane. Marius Tudor asked if how SMEs can register as a stakeholder in this project. Please, Oriane.
Yes, so I'm going to talk about it just after. We have a form where you can register, and then we will send you an email with all the information you wanted. But I'm going to present it just after the questions.
Okay, thank you, Oriane. Someone else? Okay, I think it's all. Thank you so much for participate. Oh, okay. New question from Matej Kretnok. I'm sorry for I don't know how to pronounce your name. You asked.
Matej.
Okay, thank you. The question is, do you have in cluster use technology like VR AR?
Yes, that was my questions. Yes, because what I saw in your presentation, that you would like to increase online sales, and in my opinion, this type of technology can help us in this area. But maybe it's about a discussion further. But generally, I would like to know what do you expect, or if you have a plan, use these technologies and where?
The presentation today was to present the challenges or trends, and of course this technology, virtual reality and augmented reality, that is already being used by companies, for example, with learning tools or for quality control or in different aspects of the production of the manufacturing process. We have included this trend because we are already seeing, and in the future we think that it can also get even more relevance. In terms of online sales, I mean, online sales, I commented that because we think that is something that is going to happen in the future. I mean, until the moment we are seeing if you want to buy a car, you usually go to the dealer or whatever and you see the car, but maybe in other countries it's different and it's less complicated to buy the car. So it's in the future, with the increase on online sales, we expect that this even the vehicles could be bought online. If this technology of virtual reality and augmented reality, well, I know that, for example, here in Vigo, they are already introducing this technology in terms of sales. I visit one dealer here in Vigo, and they showed me that. And for example, in terms of the cluster, we also created like a kind of catalog, a virtual catalog with augmented reality. So I'm sure that for sales would be also a good option to take advantage of this technology.
Okay, thank you for answer.
Okay, thank you. Someone else? Okay, I think we can finish this part. So I pass the word to Oriane to close the webinar. Thank you all for participate. So Oriane, whenever you want.
Yes, thank you, yeah. As we mentioned, the report about the future trends in the automotive transport mobility ecosystem will be made available this month at your disposal. We will gather the information from this webinar. And also this document will help us prepare the activities for the project. So you can change the slides, please. So in the project, we developed a one-stop shop to guide SMEs through actions and opportunities. So what is a one-stop shop? It is a form. It takes 2 to 5 minutes to fill out, and it is the first step for the SMEs to have access to the services we propose in the project. So in this form, there are 2 questions. First, about the technologies that are of most interest to your SME. And the other question is in which area they would like to receive our support. So as I said, networking, innovation projects, technology adaptation, trainings, and internationalization. And then according to the field they choose, depending on their answer, more detailed questions are appearing in the form. So for example, if you choose internationalization, questions will appear asking you about your objectives, in which countries you would like to increase your international activities, etc. And you also have to mention the information about your company in this form. And then according to the answers obtained, these will allow us to set up the most adapted activities and services of the project, and to offer SMEs fundings for these activities. And the link of this one-stop shop is also available on our LinkedIn RESIST Euroclusters. And I wanted to ask you, the one-stop shop is very important for us. And if you know an SME, or if you're an SME that is interested in our project, feel this one-stop shop or communicate about it. That will be very helpful. So who can apply for these for our activities? So every SMEs from the automotive transport and mobility ecosystem can apply to be financed. And the only conditions for SMEs to get financing is first, they will have to fill in a resilience check. And this resilience check allows companies to first audit their market situation, production and processes towards potential risks and future market evolutions, and then to set up an action plan for mitigation of the main risks. So the scheme helps a company evaluating identified impacts and classifying them depending on their criticality. And by these, companies are enabled to prioritize their actions to the most critical impacts. So basically, the action plan allows to mitigate impacts. And then, after they fill this resilience check, the consortium will select the SMEs that can have access to financing. So now let's move on to the detailed activities and events and financings in the RESIST project. So we have many activities that we'll be implementing this year for SMEs to access funding. So next slide, please. So we are organizing an event in the next month. So in April, we organize a matchmaking event in Zaragoza in Spain, which will allow SMEs to connect between each other, to identify partners for joint projects or to discuss common business agreements. And SMEs can also discover added value information through presentations on challenges for the automotive and vehicle industry. So this event will be a physical virtual event so that we can give access to a maximum of participants across Europe. And so SMEs will be able to attend the event online or on site. And what will be offered in the event is a company visit. We also propose B2B meetings, etc. And the main topic of these events will be electromobility. And for the matchmaking events, SMEs can apply for a budget of, in the project, SMEs can apply for a budget of 250 euros per SME and to attend the event on site. And but SMEs outside from the country, from Spain, and then we will inform you on our LinkedIn about the details. I guess in the course of the month, if you want to have more information. And if you could not attend online, or if Spain was too complicated to attend on site, we also are organizing another matchmaking this year in Linz, in Austria, during the month of October. So yeah. Then also, if you want more information and have access to what we offer, we also propose another webinar about green engineering, which will take place in March. Then here are the activities I talked about earlier and what we want to implement, but I wanted to discuss, to show you how much we can finance you. So we are in next month, we are implementing first about networking. You can, for example, for networking, you can receive financial support of 250 euros to attend exhibitions, forums, and conferences in Europe. And you also can get 500 euros to attend matchmaking events, but other than RESIST matchmaking events, or for supplier meetings, for example. Then we are, for innovation, we are launching an open call for innovation projects, and it will open beginning of April, and SMEs will then have 2 months to submit their projects. And the matchmaking in April can also be an opportunity for you to meet possible partners and to ask all your questions if you want to apply to this open call. And all the relative information regarding the date, the topic, etc., will be communicated as soon as the call opens. Then we also have another open call in October in 2023. If you did not have time to submit your project to the first call. And then also for your information, the submission procedures will be easier and quicker than those for a traditional European call for proposals. And the funding for your innovation project will be of 20,000 euros if you submit a project without a consortium, and 30,000 euros per SME with a consortium, up to 3 SMEs in the same consortium from different regions or country. And yeah, so that's it for the innovation part. Then for activity about adaptation of processes and technologies, as I mentioned earlier, we are making available a report on best practices of green and digital transition as an idea catalog for SMEs, which will be able at the end of this month. And then in addition, if some are interested in coaching and mentoring on digitalization and green engineering, we will fund SMEs 4,000 euros for consultations with high-level experts, and 5,500 euros for a market study. And then by the second half of this year, we offer free online courses on topics such as green engineering, digitization, crisis preparedness, etc., other topics we discussed today. And we also have a global envelope of 15,000 euros to finance more specific trainings with qualified personnel. So we offer 750 euros for physical training and 250 euros for online training. Then finally, also for internationalization, beginning of March, SMEs could ask for RESIST financial support to attend international events, like for example, to attend conferences in a target market, to attend trade fairs, exhibitions, in-person trainings or events about internationalization, to participate in matchmaking events, also for bilateral meetings with potential customers or suppliers, and from countries outside of Europe. And the maximum funding per SME will be of 2,000 euros. And this open call will remain open till the end of the project. So we will be able to apply for an international event till beginning of 2025. So that's all for the next steps. Can you, next slide, please. And so if you need more information about the project, you can find us on the ECCP platform here, or at our email address, info@resisteurocluster.eu. And also we are very, like, you can find us on our LinkedIn, on Twitter, or even on YouTube. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much to all the attendants, to all the speakers, and especially to the European Cluster Alliance for allowing us to use their channel to reach all the the clusters around Europe and their companies. And I hope you enjoyed this webinar and the information we gave you. So we keep in touch, and thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.